Welcome to episode 28 of the We're Alive FanCast. This is Mick.
And this is RedBeard.
Welcome to the live FanCast. First off, we got a couple issues out there we're hearing from people. They can't chat, unfortunately. I don't know what's going on there. The same thing is happening to RedBeard as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. It keeps giving me a CAPTCHA that I can't see. It's hidden behind a thumbnail of a video. So, looks like you'll get to see a slightly even more unpolished turd during the live event.
That's right, that's right. And I can't tell you just how freaking exciting this is to be with all you guys. And we have what looks like a pretty active chat room too as well. And the way this is going to work is, just so you guys know, we're just going to run through a kind of a quick intro, and then we're going to move into just kind of to y'all's part of the show. We're going to post the link here in just a few minutes. That'll be in the About section, and we'll let you know when to refresh the YouTube page because it won't show up until you do that. But once that's there, you'll be able to click that link. It'll put you in the Hangout, and we can only have 10 at a time in the Hangout, and we'll try to just bring one person on at a time, I guess in order. If it sorts them out in order, we think it does. We're not sure. So we're just kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think your music played through. They're saying it was a little soft, and I could barely hear it myself.
Oh, cool. I'm surprised you could hear it at all. There was a little bit of room to turn it up. I didn't want to blast anybody off their computer chair and bump their head before the show starts.
I mean, it was soft to the degree I think we were hearing it through your headphones, or through your mic.
Oh, wow.
So, I don't know.
That's really soft. Well, let me retweet this from We're Alive FanCast real quick. All right, so on to the few notes that we do have. I'm just going to ask everybody, and you guys, everybody knows we try to do a family-friendly show. This will probably go out in podcast form if we can download it, and then go ahead and edit it. So just try to censor yourselves as best you can. We understand if you slip up, no big deal. Nobody's going to get kicked off the island.
What else is the sound of the Motagun for?
Right. And I think also I'm gonna open up a spreadsheet and try to keep track of predictions. And as you guys think of any predictions that you want to cover, throw those in the chat, and hopefully everybody else can get to their part of the predictions as well.
To include any predictions that are already established. We like Red Shirt. I'm so glad you got to come on because I'm looking forward to hearing some of your insight because it's been spot on so many times.
That's what I've heard. I remember Todd is Dead. He messaged me about how good one of Red Shirt's theories was. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but it sounded really cool. Well, we have any more notes?
No.
All right. I want to go ahead and grab this link out of here and throw it into the description section. Hopefully the delay is such that you can refresh it here in just a minute. It's going to be right there in the About section. It says link to join the show. Replacing it now. Pressing save. You should be able to refresh and click that button. So another week, no We're Alive. No We're Alive next week either. What are we going to do, RedBeard?
Whoa. This is going to be a minute to get used to because I hear you in unison when I refresh the page.
Oh yeah, I paused mine. I definitely did not want to have that interfering, even with the little bit of the network speed it might take up. John Moan, it says, I think Casey is deliberately trying to kill all my theories. Well, I'm glad I muted my mic because as I was playing the intro music, it might have been like me just breathing into the microphone. With a little bit of music in the background. So let's see, do we have anybody joining up here yet? Hopefully some people do want to join. Oh.
We got Adam.
Got Adam here. Let's go ahead and show him in the broadcast. All right, you'll have to unmute yourself, Adam. Just waiting to hear from you. Maybe I have to do it. Okay, did I do it? Adam, you there?
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Hey, what's going on, man? You want to? I think we wanted to talk a little bit about your theory you talked about on the show last week. Are you shared with us through email?
Oh, yes, the RedBeard theory, I call it.
Yes.
Yes.
It is. Don't give him credit. That's yours.
That is all you. But I like it.
Basically, what does it have to do? It's all something that happened when?
In the first episode and in season 3, I think, when they were talking about Michael's chloroform abuse.
So if I remember correctly, you're talking about it. This whole story's playing out as Michael is ODing from drugs and dying.
Yep.
So can you go ahead and share that for everybody else that may not have heard it before?
Well, basically, I think that Michael died in the first episode, or he is dying, and that's why he keeps going back at the starting of every season, and he goes, I never feared death, or will remain on the other side of today was my day. But that was then, and this is now. He's fearing death because he is dying. And every once in a while they mention his drug usage, and sometimes he just doesn't seem like himself. Like when they were in the alleyway and he ditches Puck and he runs after Randy, he could have been, using drugs again. It would explain his craziness a lot.
That's definitely a pretty crazy theory. Hey, we're going to put you on the spot. We're going to do this to everybody, I think, because it's what we did in the interviews, and it's kind of a fun question. But which survivor would you pick to survive with in the Zompocalypse? If you could pick from anybody in the We're Alive cast.
So the people or the actors or the cast?
Oh,
Like
the characters.
The characters.
Yes, sir.
You put you on the spot.
I would say Robbins is about his hashtag man muscle abilities.
Wow. He doesn't get a lot of love, does he, when it comes to this question?
Well, he's got the time traveling Black Hawk as well. That's a deal breaker there. I mean, I would say someone like, I don't know, Saul and Michael, they're all cool, but no. If you don't have a time traveling Black Hawk, you're not on my pick.
Does it have to go 88 miles an hour?
No.
No.
that would be terrible.
It worked pretty good in a different movie, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, man.
Well, hey, bud, is there anything else you want to share with us for now?
No, that's fine. That's all I had to say for this episode.
Well, thanks for joining. I know it's late over there. And
Yes.
if you have anything else you want to add, just go ahead and click that link again and join the Hangout.
All right.
All right, thanks, Adam. Next up, we have Jeremy, and we'll see if we can give us his forum name. I'm going to promote him to show on the broadcast. And this is how it works, actually. Whenever you click the link, it's going to put you in the Hangout, but you're not immediately going to be visible or audible. And then once the last person's done with their piece, we'll have them on the talk. And it looks like Jeremy's unmuted his mic. Hey, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Pretty good, man.
Yeah.
What's your name on the forums?
I'm not sure why it's showing up as Jeremy. I mean, that is my real first name, but I'm Red Shirt.
Oh, cool.
Oh, red shirt.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah, when I got the invite on the We're Alive forums, I figured, hey, you know what? I better get that Logitech mic out, dust it off, and check to make sure it actually works because I've never actually used the microphone on this thing.
It sounds pretty good.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I was a little worried about it because, like I said in the reply, that it's kind of entry level, which is the nice way of saying it's a cheap piece of,
Gotcha. Piece of Matagun going off.
I don't know about that. That Matagun seems to be working pretty good for them. It's just not fast enough.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's going to be our sensor audio if we have to use it, I think.
I'm hoping they build more Mataguns. That thing is incredible.
I can't remember who it was, but somebody on the forum suggested that one of the last things that they should have Datu do after he fixes the well, is draw up the schematics on how to build more of those things, and that's a really good idea.
Yes. So, you have posted some excellent theories out there.
Thank you.
Where do you dream this stuff up at? It's incredible.
Well, I've thought about that myself, given the possibility, the opportunity, of various fan casts, or maybe getting to meet some of you guys out there in LA, should I be able to make it. And, it's hard to say. It's just kind of the product of an overactive imagination, to an extent. Also, from the very, very first episode, We're Alive hooked me immediately, because I've mentioned, various posts on the forum and in the About section about me in the profile. I am a reservist. I have been for quite some time. Not sort of currently serving, because I'm still looking for a unit to drill with up here in New Hampshire. But from the very first episode, it hooked me, because when I was listening to the descriptions of them talking about the arms room and making the run across the parking lot to the motor pool, I didn't have to make up a whole lot in my head. I was seeing my arms room at my unit. I was seeing my motor pool in my unit. I was actually running through an inventory in my head thinking about, okay, which of those Humvees in the motor pool will actually start? So, yeah.
I was doing the same thing. I was in the guard for a while, and so I was able to visualize the same thing with our armory.
Yeah. But as far as where the ideas come from, I mean, there's certain things that I have somewhat of a fascination for. Obviously zombies to a degree, but also contingency plans and operations as to what various levels of agencies do, to include, the federal level, for the United States, the continuity of operations I've mentioned a couple of times in a few posts. And I used to do a lot of hard copy reading with books, and a lot of it's Wikipedia and Google Foo, chasing down ideas, theories, as far as like trying to put this big giant jigsaw puzzle together, figure it out.
Have you seen? Of course you've seen this, but how about those symbols out there? That's pretty crazy, right? On all the ink, and then it being in that last episode.
That's crazy. I mean, I was really excited to hear that there were some symbols drawn on some of those papers, and like many of the other members of the forum, we figured, oh well, those symbols must mean something. There must be some correlation to it. Then it turns out a couple of the symbols that were written are symbols we haven't seen yet. This goes back to the very, very first posting of the bust shot of ink, and one of the first replies that KC posted in response to that was, and that's only the front half, or something to that effect. And I'm really looking forward to see what might be on the back of his head.
Right. I think it's I forget which symbol it is that's on the back that he confirmed is definitely back there. I think I saw it on the Symbols Wiki page that was out there. But it was on Chapter 11 artwork, I think, and you can't really make it out, but it's one of those four they talked about on the Behemoth doors.
Right. I actually, you know what, the Chapter 11 artwork with him standing in the hallway, I think it was, I haven't gone back to look at that yet, but after reading one of the posts earlier today, after I got home from work, someone mentioned something about the Chapter 4 artwork. So I'm actually looking at it right now, called it up, and there are two symbols that are on his hands that we haven't taken a look at yet. And they kind of look like zodiac symbols, honestly. The one from the viewer's perspective, the right side, it looks kind of almost like a Soviet hammer and sickle, only it's an arrow instead of a hammer. And the other one, I can't really describe. It kind of almost looks like a bit like alchemical sulfur, only there's a second bar at the bottom that has like loopy tails coming off of it as well. So more Google Foo may be needed later this evening.
Man, I need to figure out how to add that to the stream real quick. Let's see. How can we do this? We're really learning Google Hangout right now, and we've learned a lot in the last couple hours before this show started.
Yeah, this is actually the first time I've used Google Hangout before. I mean, I've done other video and chat conferencing with work before in the past, but this is the first time I've ever tried to use Google Hangout before. I'm actually really pleased it's worked out. the first time. Didn't have to, hunt down bugs
Yeah, that's
to
promising.
make this work. Yeah, it is.
When we first started this, I referenced your post that you made in May of last year, whenever the chemicals were brought up. And I got really excited because when I was looking up the chemicals, I was finding all this stuff about hydrocarbons, and it played right into your description of the his symbols that were on his wrist.
Right. I think it was yesterday. It might have been the day before yesterday. I don't know. I mean, as the one of the quotes that's in my my signature on the forums, George Carlin quote. I don't really love the guy, love his comedy, but the one thing he said that really stuck with me is, I've got tons of great ideas. The trouble is, most of them, suck. But it turns out that there was a little bit. I mean, that was quite a while back, but it turns out there's a little bit of meat to that. And I think this is the one that I'm looking at right here. It's the lead-off post to Ink and the Origin and Meaning of His Tattoos. I'm a bit of a fan of chemistry a little bit. I watch the periodic table of videos on YouTube. I've been meaning to link some of them in some of my posts, either as in the main body or follow-up to it. But there really hasn't been a whole lot that actually directly correlates to it. But when I saw the hexagons linked together for I believe it's the Chapter 27 artwork, I keyed on that immediately because I recognize that as a hydrocarbon chain diagram. So I just kind of jumped off into the deep end down the wiki rabbit hole from there.
Okay, so let's see. I'm going to try to share this picture from. Just click right on it. I've got this picture here from Chapter 4. You said, and it's kind of like a soldier standing in front of a Hummer. Are there symbols in that picture?
No, that's one of the old original artwork pieces. But I do see it though.
Okay. But it's not in this picture. The symbol's not in this picture that we're looking at here. Okay. I'll need to figure that out then. Glad to see the screen share works though.
Yes, and it's actually, from my end, it actually looks pretty good too. It looks about as good as it would if you blew it up, downloaded it, blew it up on your own home computer.
Excellent. I'm having fun learning this new stuff. Oh wait, it's going through my notes now.
Oops, don't want to share that.
Yeah, hold on a second. Can't share my show notes. Turn off the screen share. I don't know. It's probably going to bring it up anytime I bring it up now. Let's see.
Han Solo from Empire Strikes Back just popped into my head when he's trying to get the Falcon fixed. Shut it off! Shut it off!
The other thing that you brought up, and on the forums about it, but you posted up on the forums about the reservists and what would it take to mobilize a reserve unit?
Yes, that was one of my more recent bigger posts. The Posse Comedius Act, Insurrection Act in Title 10. Well, basically, to back up a little bit, is something I've mentioned previously, because I've always had this suspicion about it before. If it's artistic license just to get the show started, to get the characters together, to be where they need to be to get the ball rolling for storytelling, that's fine. I don't have I'm a bit of a writer myself, not published yet, but I don't have a problem with that. The thing is, though, the way it took place kind of leaves it open to be there could very well be something a bit more dark or a bit more sinister behind it, because with the discussion on the forums, I've laid out the requirements for mobilization. I do recall having read something in the various wiki, and I think it was Stanford. I can't remember where it was. The Stanford Law Online something or other that actually describes the very specifics of the exact chapters and sections of Title 10. I read something in there that it does give permissions to unit commanders for the purposes of defense of very specifically government property. It doesn't say anything about taking action beyond that, but I couldn't remember where in the heck I read that. So it could very well have been the unit commander for Michael's unit, the 223rd, could have said, hey, there's something crazy going on in LA, and it's getting bad, so we need to defend our little reserve center station. So calls them up and brings them in. Other than that, there's a possibility for something very strange to have preceded the opening of Chapter 1.
Yeah, and we did a, I don't know, before we really started podcasting, we did as practice we did an episode about episode 1, and that came up in our discussion, and because I know for like a National Guard unit, it's easy. I mean, that takes a governor's signature, you're done. You're up and running. But for the reservists, I knew it was a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, and something as quick as nobody hearing anything.
With the National Guard,
it's something as quick as nobody hearing anything except a bomb going off. Surely the governor didn't get something on his desk to sign immediately like that. So I don't know if that's in the scope of the show. Maybe Casey just used it to get in there, but.
Yeah, and one of the things I mentioned in more than one post, I think, if it is artistic license, that's fine, but also, I'd rather not know. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
Because, it keeps us wondering. If it is indeed artistic license, I'd very much rather Casey not ever say. Not even at the final live event. If asked, just leave it up to us to decide. Because it makes the story richer and deeper.
Yeah. And I think if that is the case,
leaving us wondering.
On it. Yeah, Casey would. He's already stated several times that there's going to be questions left unanswered, but it's on purpose for you to kind of come up with how it played out. So I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know how many people have. Yeah, I don't know how many people have read it, but one of my pet magical unicorn theories is, it's a good one. This goes back to one of those ones that we will never know if this could very well be true, or this could be perhaps maybe even a pet idea of Casey's himself. But he's going to keep it, play it close to the chest and not tell anybody about it, at least not in this story. Like I said, magical unicorn theory is that the family or families are of the old ancient secret society type. They were also a doomsday cult of some kind, the whole Illuminati, New World Order nonsense, and their goal was to reduce human population, blah, blah, blah. And they were going to try to reduce the population of the Earth. Angel didn't agree with those aims, left the family, so to speak, so he was on the outs with them. Bill Roberts, a.k.a. Inc., was meant to be the architect of that New World Order doomsday. But then he went too far. The families didn't agree with what he was going to do, and they pulled the plug, but they pulled it too late. Then when things went down, Casey recognized what was happening. Not Casey, rather, Angel recognized what was happening, called the commander and lied to him, saying, battalion called, they couldn't get in touch with you, we're getting mobilized, because Angel wanted to have essentially an army to stand between him and whatever was going to happen with the New World Order, or so he thought. He only wound up with 2 soldiers.
Holy crap.
Yeah, like I said, overactive imagination to a certain extent.
Well, can we take a break real quick? We'd like to play our Dare to Survive intro, and also invite anybody else that wants to get in on the call. If you don't see the link in the About section down there, just refresh, and it should say link to join the show. You just click that. It launches Google Hangout, and it should install whatever it needs, and you'll be good to go. I see Doofus Monkey's there.
And Red Shirt, just mute yours, because I want you to stay on. That way, if you have anything to interject.
Thing. Yeah, will do. I mean, I love the show, and I love your show, but I don't want to hog it, so yeah, I'll go ahead and mute myself.
Yeah, we love it. Love having you on. And I think we're gonna come back and bring Doofus on, because he's about to go to bed. He's in many time zones away from us, I believe.
Yes.
So without further ado, the first showing of the Dare to Survive teaser trailer.
I'm not seeing it.
All right, so it looks like that was a little quiet for me. How was the volume for everybody else there? Were you able to? You said you couldn't see it at all, Redbeard?
No, and I don't think it ever played out on the live stream either.
Well, there is a little bit of a delay. Let me. Did you guys see the video out there?
I think they're all muted.
No, I mean I was talking to the chat channel.
Oh.
That's funny. It still has my screen share up. This is getting a little bit frustrating. Let's see, where's the screen share? I need to turn this off somehow. Oh well.
I just saw
well.
Todd's beard. That thing's amazing.
Let's go ahead and bring Doofus on real quick. He's about to go to bed, I think. So
Okay.
go ahead and bring him into the show and try to unmute him. Let's see, where is he? I don't see his link there anymore. Thought he joined up.
Yeah, I think. Well, hold on.
Don't see him there. Hey, and I see everybody else that's in the Hangout. We will get to everybody at least for a few minutes. We're going to try to wrap this up in the next after about 45 minutes more, so we'll have plenty of time to get everybody on here.
I think he's the third one that says Jones.
Okay, let me just bring him in real quick. See.
Oh no, that may not be. I think he was John something.
Yeah, John Monin. Let's see. I don't see him. I think he got in for a second, and then it didn't show him anymore.
Oh, okay.
There he is.
There he is.
How awesome. Sorry to push him into the front of the line. I think you guys want to hear from him, though, before he goes to bed. So I'll show him in the broadcast.
Hey, the unmute finally disappeared.
Yes, sir. I have to show you in the broadcast or something like that. We figured out earlier. We about quit the whole show because we couldn't get everybody talking in our testing.
It was time for me to start using hashtag flipping tables.
Interesting. I can see you guys is lighting up, but I can't hear anything.
Oh, you can't hear it. You can't hear me. That is not cool. Do you have your sound up? He can't hear us. So.
Hey, now I can hear you.
There we go.
Okay, cool.
Hey, hit the wrong
There we
button. Sorry.
Did you see the YouTube video just now in the stream?
I was just trying to get my microphone to work.
Okay, yeah, don't worry about it. So what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Oh, I just love to get on here. Love your podcast.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We hear from you every week, I know.
Well, I've been on the forum trying to find the craziest theory possible because no one's going to if I get an easy theory. So I just keep on throwing the crazier ones out every week because one of them's got to work. Well, maybe not.
What's the closest you've gotten so far?
Probably the one that CJ is tried to kill Victor off by sabotaging a scuba tank, just because KC hasn't killed that theory off yet.
That's, at first I thought that was crazy, but I don't know. It seems like it makes sense the way you sold it, where she is so in charge and micromanages everything. She would have caught that.
Well, my theory is that when she was there, that she couldn't manage two people because one could stay up and wear out. But if only one person was there, she could kind of keep an eye on him. So I figured she liked Saul better, attracted to him, so she decided to kill off Victor just to be safe.
I don't think it's too far off the mark. I think she's got some stalker tendencies.
Yeah, and Tanya found the crack fitting on the scuba tank.
Yeah.
She did.
Well, I mean, it was a loose fitting, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was one loose fitting of the scuba tank that let all the extra air out.
Yeah, and her attention to detail just seemed a little.
That sounds like something she would have checked ahead of time.
Right. Especially if she was up before them working on it.
Right. Well, John, you're in. What is it? Like 3, 4 in the morning over where you are right now?
No, I'm in Indiana.
Oh, okay.
But
must be
everybody here seems to think that 6 o'clock in the morning is a normal time to start work.
No, that's way too early, right?
Well, I don't make it at 6, but I'm supposed to.
That's good. Hopefully the boss doesn't listen to this one.
I doubt it.
I doubt it, yeah.
Yeah, he actually gets to work on time, so he's asleep a long time ago.
Well, anything else you wanted to share with us?
No, that's about it. Although the only other thing was I was doing those PG-13 edits of all the shows.
That was you.
I'm like 2 or 3 behind on it, but I'm not sure anybody actually listens to them.
I don't know if they do or not. I know RedBeard would like to take advantage of that.
Yes, I've been meaning to download it for my son because I always kind of have to listen to the show ahead of time and say, okay, am I going to make an allowance for this, that, or the other?
Well, my son was pretty young when we started out, and we've been doing this for a while, and now he's like, "That's a good one, Dad. You really edited out the F-bomb there." So now he listens with me and says, "You can barely tell they said the F-bomb there, Dad." You know, so both my kids just became teenagers, so it's I'm not protecting them from anything at this point. I'm just doing it out of force of habit.
Right. Well,
Although I am surprised the amount of hate I got on the forums for doing it.
Well,
really?
Well, Litmaster, I think, was one of them, actually. A lot of people really don't like, because I'm editing KC's work, I'm actually going in and tweaking it. I asked him ahead of time because I didn't know if he'd like it or not.
but I think it's cool because you're creating this new follower of Casey that, I mean, such a ripe young age to go off and create his own stuff one day.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm just obsessive compulsive, that's all.
Well, who would you want to survive with out of the cast of characters there? Not the cast, but the actual characters from We're Live in a Zombie Apocalypse.
Probably Kelly for sick reasons.
That's great.
My mother was a very strong personality woman. My wife is a very strong personality. I think I just need a little abuse in my life, so I think I'd like having Kelly around.
Well, that, and she's probably going to know what she wants and make things happen, unlike, some people in the show.
Oh, boy.
A little wishy-washy, flying between men.
Oh, man. Hey,
Yeah, and I checked out her Twitter page. She's too good looking.
She is. Cool. It really is. All right, well, thank you for joining the show.
Hey, it was my pleasure. Thanks, guys.
And hopefully we'll be able to do this again and have you back on.
Sounds great.
All right, talk to you later. All right, let's see. I think Todd was the next one in line. He joined earlier, then disconnected. Ready for me to connect him up, RedBeard?
Connect up the fellow beard.
All right. All right. I don't know if this podcast is ready for this much beard.
Oh, yes, it
But
is.
here we go. All right, Todd, you should be able to hear us. We can hear you.
Yep. What's up?
What's up? Welcome to the show, man.
Yeah.
Hello, my bearded brother.
Yeah. Good to finally get this thing rolling.
Oh, yeah.
What's up tonight? Anyway.
Not much.
Sorry,
We've been
I was
frantic trying to get...
totally
Oh, go
not
ahead.
prepared for you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
That's all good.
the stream's a little bit behind.
Yeah,
But you were in the channel. You could hear me.
Mhm.
I think a lot of people are going to be pretty aware of who you are, Todd, but for those that may not, do you want to talk a little bit about your side gigs you do, your writing and your website a little bit? Or not?
Well, no, I'm trying to think of, the main side gig right now is just the convoy we have going.
Yes.
Just trying to get organized for that. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. So y'all are
Yeah.
leaving
What's
out
the
that
status
Sunday
with
prior?
that? I'm sorry.
Well, we're looking at raising money and trying to figure out a plan for us getting out there.
Right.
The potential problem is we're looking at it's going to take over a week to let's see what you're looking at how many days to get there?
We're looking at July 15th to the 21st for the actual convoy trip.
Oh wow, so y'all leave out on the 15th? I thought for some reason y'all were leaving out the Sunday prior.
No. It's the it's the Wednesday before the show, which I'm just pulling this all off the top of my head. Which was the 15th, or is it the 16th?
The
Might be the
16th.
16th. Yeah, 16th. Okay, we leave out on the 16th, and we don't leave LA until the Sunday after the show. So 20th, and return back to Illinois on the 21st.
Oh wow, that's not near as bad as what I was thinking before.
Okay. Yeah, we were thinking it was going to be like a 2-week trip.
No, not quite that long.
So give us tomorrow to talk about it a little bit more in depth, and we'll give you an answer, a solid answer.
Right on. Actually, what I was going to say is, if you guys are just wanting to leave out of your area and join up with us, that would probably be beneficial for all parties involved, really.
Where do y'all hit I-40?
Actually, you'd have to ask Glitmaster exactly on that. He's more of our roadmap guy.
Okay, well, is he
I mean,
currently in the
we've
Hangout?
got. Yeah, he's the Fred Jones Fred, whatever it is, fake name. I mean, we've got all the time in the world to talk about that, at least over the next 4 months. But yeah,
I gotcha.
yeah, I think probably Amarillo, round about there. That'd be our first night stop there on the 16th.
And you guys are talking about camping and everything else along the way, aren't you?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
That does sound
I mean,
like a lot of fun.
I'm not making a drive out to California and not stopping at the Grand Canyon and any places out across the desert possible. That's just not. No, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. I went there, I think, when I was a sophomore for spring break.
Mm.
That was a great
Yeah.
place. Beautiful.
Yeah, I've always went East Coast myself, but yeah, definitely.
Well, any crazy theories or predictions you want to share with us?
Let's see what we got.
I'm trying to think of some good prediction questions. All I have is who lives, who dies. I wasn't able to get back to my notes after editing that trailer
Yeah.
too much.
You know,
Let me see.
nothing's been stereotypical about this zombie story. So, is it going to have a stereotypical ending or something totally different?
It's so hard. See, that's something that I just keep going back to is as much as it's not going to happen, the whole it's all a dream thing. If you put it in your brain right and actually pay attention to what people say throughout the story, you can make it look that way. Because a lot of even this last chapter with Twin Towers jail facility, it all lines up with, there's too many coincidences, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
And once all the coincidences within the story start happening, it's really hard not to start plugging in just the most random, crazy ideas you can.
Yeah, and the more and more I thought about it, the more and more I could see myself not getting pissed off like I did with Lost. Without going into detail about it, but
And completely agree. And I'm one of the few who will actually defend season 6 of Lost. So, but I agree with you.
Holy cow, that needs to be a whole nother episode.
Yeah. Well, you got to take it for what it's worth, I mean, as
That's
far
true.
as It's a television show, and they gave you an ending, and you know, yeah, not all the answers, but whatever. That's kind of my opinion.
Right.
So,
I loved everything up until that moment. You know, I love doing like the math behind the physics and everything else with it too. I mean, so I can't really complain that much, I guess.
yeah, okay, correction. Eliminate season 6, give you the last episode of season 6 at the end of season 5, and I would be very happy.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I've seen the
yeah,
first
exactly.
episode of Lost, and I've seen the last 5 minutes.
That's literally all you need to see.
Right. It kind of made sense to me. Because I didn't need to see anything else. I guess I could have seen the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes, and that would have been okay. It would have just been a plain.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, that would have been perfect.
Can't edit that out quite as easy as we did last week. Oh man, we spoiled it so bad. Let's see what. So who would you like to survive with out of all the survivors there? Towerites, anybody scratch? If you pick anyone.
Yeah, I'm going to give a very unpopular answer. Tardust.
Tardust.
Yeah.
Was that you that commented about Tardust a week or two ago? On you don't have Facebook, do you?
I do, but I'm never on Facebook. It's just
Somebody said
for-
Tardust. They were really
yeah,
good.
no. I was on We're Not Dead and said that, but
That might be where I heard it.
yeah, probably so. No, it's just given the situations he's been in, I think he's the most realistic in. I mean, I hate to say it, but in all aspects, I think he's the most realistic. He's just not a good person. I almost gave you a Mata gun right there. Yeah. He's not a good person, and it's generally known that he's not a good person. So, in that aspect, I think he's the most realistic character on there, and probably has the best idea how to survive, or save himself at least. That I can appreciate.
Okay, I've got a couple more prediction theories for you.
Well, and real quick,
Okay, go ahead.
Adam was saying that Tardust is one of his favorite characters too.
He's
Throw that up
he's
there. You're not
interesting.
completely alone.
I love the villain. He was a really good villain too. He was annoying, but not too bad. I mean, he had the great mustache twirling villain voice too.
I think the actor's portrayal of him is probably what makes him really.
Right. That's really good. Okay, let's see. I got a few questions. Who lives? Who dies? Michael. Does Michael live through the thing?
Yes. Yes, primarily because I see him as being Casey in real life.
Oh yeah, he's got to be Casey because he looks just like him in that album art, right?
More or less, yeah.
Okay, Saul.
Yes.
Lives. Bert.
No.
Going out with a bang.
And I don't know why I put Scratch on here. I was just kind of just throwing out names. Think Scratch is going to live through this?
Oh, of course. And if I said no, Osiris / Roger Dodger / Dr. Rock would probably kill me. So, yes.
Yeah, so you got to save yourself there. A
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
more questions, and then maybe you can help me pick out some better prediction questions. Is Randy a good guy?
There's a good one. I so want to say yes.
Me too.
Yeah. It's just there's so many things about the setup of his character that you could go one way or the other with he's a good guy or he's a bad guy. Because, I mean, I'm probably the only one who's made the words, made the idea. Yeah. That he's basically been in the position to put our characters in the position to kill the Inklings within the story. You know, when the attack happened to Datu, the Inkling died. Randy was there. They would never have went to Radon had Randy not dropped the bottles, which led them there, which had them kill the one that was there. You know, I mean, there's a lot of different things that point toward, Randy's kind of trying to say, I'm tired of this. Let's end it. Here's what you need to do.
Right. So, I guess it's okay if you don't want to commit to one, but do you want to skip that one?
Yeah, let's skip that one.
How about a good ending? I guess a good ending would be the survivors winning or something like that. Good ending or bad ending?
I hope there's not a good ending. I really do.
So I'm just going to put you down for a no and a good ending.
That's a no.
What's some other good questions you want
It's going to end on a cliffhanger.
That you want to have us ask everybody else? Oh my gosh. That would be terrible, especially since Casey says, we'll get some kind of good ending. At least we'll know who won, I think is what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of drawing a blank at the moment.
It's getting a little bit late for everybody, I bet.
This is early for me, but I'm just drawing a blank on questions.
Awesome. Well, if you want to throw some in chat after we get off here, we'd love that too.
Yeah, I can do that. No problem.
Thanks for coming on, man. It's good to talk to you.
Problem.
And we'll be back in contact with you here pretty soon.
Oh, I'm sure.
About that convoy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We definitely need to chat about that. All right. Thanks, guys.
Yes,
cool,
sir.
Thanks.
Talk to you later.
See you.
Okay, let's see. Who's
next?
I'm not sure. Let me bring up the other view. Screen share. Go away. It keeps trying to give out all my secrets.
I don't think anybody else sees them, though.
Okay, Jeremy Smith. It looks like he's the next one in here, but I don't know if it. Yeah, he was definitely was. Let's bring him in here.
Okay.
Let's see, where are you? All right, hey Jeremy, welcome to the show.
Yeah, now it's Redshirt again. I'm not sure what Google and YouTube is doing, but I created a channel just so I could rename it to another Redshirt. But for some reason, I guess it probably hasn't proliferated through all the servers yet. So it's still showing up with my regular name.
It was doing this to me too, and unless we invited you directly as Redshirt or your alternate persona, it reverts back to your original Google name. It's ridiculous.
Right.
That's right.
Well, I'm not agreeing with it, saying that's the right thing to do, but I understand what the computers are doing, so I kind of get it. I understand what's going on.
Yeah, I just wish you'd give you an option as you're, get logging into the actual event.
All right, man. Hey, we're gonna go ahead and bring Lid in here, and you got some more stuff for us after we get done with them. Everybody else. Redshirt?
Oh, yeah, I'd love to come back on, but go ahead and bring on the next guy.
Awesome, here we go. All right, I believe this is Litmaster that we brought on here. You there?
I'm here, can you hear me?
I can. Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
This is Mick.
Hey, great. I have no idea why it says Fred Jones as my name, but whatever.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Jones.
I guess I'm Mr. Jones for now. Hey, thanks for setting this up, you guys. It's kind of flying by the seat of your pants kind of thing, but it's working.
It absolutely is. Well, you should have seen us 3 hours ago. We were ready to throw our hands up and delete the website and Facebook page. Oh my goodness.
I was ready to chunk something.
Yeah, RedBeard is ready to throw the family filter out of the way, I think, at one point.
Well, I tell you, Todd and I have talked quite a bit over the last week and a half or so about getting those two beards in the van with us, or at least on the trip. So we're pushing hard for you guys.
If I have to sit in the middle, I definitely can't go.
Oh, we're going. We'll pull up outside of his. We're gonna pull outside of Mick's house and throw him into a panel van.
And if I'm driving and somebody puts a beard on me, we're gonna wreck. I can't control myself at that point. So.
Now we gotta have you guys sit on opposite sides, so it's like two flags hanging out the window. The beards flapping in the breeze.
Yes. Stick their head out the window too. I see.
And no worries, Todd. I'm bringing the duct tape.
Right.
That must be beard inside humor. I don't know what that means.
Oh, yes, you do.
Oh, chapter 43.3. I get you. We're Alive talk. Back to the We're Alive.
Right, back to I didn't have a whole lot to bring as far as theories and whatnot. I'm kind of running low on brain power now that it's getting towards midnight in my part of the country.
Oh, man.
But
I hear you.
I'm just thinking, like, we've seen a lot from KC over these past, 4.5 seasons now, in terms of, we all know what kind of a writer he is and how careful he is to just lay out the plot points and develop character, and he's done, I think, a really excellent job so far. So I'm just trying to think how this is all going to end, how things are going to shape out. I mean, there's certain plot lines, like he said, like with the family, that have pretty much done. I know there was some debate about whether or not that's really done, but I think we're pretty much done with that.
Yeah, Casey said as much. He tweeted after I was questioning that as well.
But there's certain things that still have yet to be resolved that, of course, we need to resolve. Of course, the confrontation with Ink, how Randy factors into the whole thing. I think Skittles has got to make a reappearance here somewhere.
Yes.
And Scratch, of course, is still kind of in limbo. For those characters, I think all of those characters, Randy, Ink, Scratch, Skittles, all four of them have got to make an appearance in the latter part of this season before we finish everything out. I just can't figure how they're all going to be coming together. One of the debates on the forum right after this past episode came out about the prison, the Twin Towers prison, is, all right, finally figured out where Ink and all his goons are hanging out, at least all the big ones. And there was a lot of talk about, well, let's just get a bunch of trucks in there and do like the Maulers did with the arena and just bomb the mess out of that place.
Right.
But from a storytelling perspective, that just seems a little bit anticlimactic to just, okay, we're just going to blow up Ink and, all right, problem solved, we're done. I don't think Casey's actually going to do that. It would seem a little bit of a cop-out. But at the same time, I can't see him going all Hollywood and having, like, Michael in Ink on the top of a building, like, bare-chested, fighting hand-to-hand.
I never even thought of that.
That just seems like way too cliche. I don't see that happening either. I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle. What do you guys think for the actual finale? What do you think we're going to get?
I've had this crazy idea in my head about, because Bert's acted kind of strange about sharing some information back and forth with the colonists and people at Dunbar about what he's encountered out there on the road with Riley. And I keep thinking maybe he's joined up with Scratch in some form or fashion in order to fight together. And it's so far out there, and I can't really even settle with it in my head, but I don't know.
Personally, I think that the character that's probably most like Casey, I would say, is CJ.
Wow.
Oh, that's strong.
I don't think that I'm not as down on her as a lot of people are, but I think that as far as the creative control and the exactitude and the planning and the meticulousness, I think a lot of that probably comes from Casey's own personality.
Now that you say that, it seems like a lot of the cast was echoing that without saying that he was like Casey, but they were definitely saying how he was just very meticulous and kind of explained him the way that we could describe CJ at times.
Right.
So he looks like Michael and acts like Casey. All right, yeah, CJ.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned. I trust how Casey's going to end it, and it's going to end on a good note. I don't think we're going to get a full resolution, like everything's going to be tied up in a neat little package for us. I still think there's going to be a good amount unresolved by the time we finish this whole thing, but I feel it's going to be satisfying nevertheless.
Right.
Enough to draw our own conclusions, at least.
Yeah, I think there'll be a certain amount of open-endedness to it, but I think the main conflict will be resolved in some kind of satisfying way, and that may not necessarily be like a feel-good kind of way, but it'll be resolved nevertheless.
I can see that. All right, hey, do you want to go through our predictions with us?
Sure.
All right, we got who lives and dies, and just go through this short little list, and maybe you can help us add some more key players. How about Michael, lives or dies?
Well, he's been there from the beginning, and he's telling the story. So I think, unless he's gonna get chomped right as he finishes his last journal entry, I'd say he lives.
All right. And Saul?
Boy. They got the baby, the family, there's the prospects of restarting everything. Oh, that would be a really... Alright, I say Saul's dead. Forget
Oh
it.
my goodness.
That's going to be a heavy
What
blow,
have you
but
done? How about Bert?
No way. No.
You gotta die, right? Is that what you're saying?
That's my heart speaking more than my head. But
Oh, no way he dies. I see.
no way Bert can go out. I'm going to stage a revolt.
So
I'm going to launch a flame war on Casey if he kills my man Bert.
How about Scratch? Some way that she slips away?
Yeah, see, it's funny. I don't see that character. I mean, what's really tying her to the group at this point? She kind of lost control. Other than the revenge factor against Pegs, what motivation does she have to really even hang around and continue to try to sabotage things?
I don't know. I don't know if I just thought about this now. If she turned, I wouldn't classify her as a monster the way that William Isaac Roberts was a monster. So I guess Tanya's comment about what happens when you turn and you're already a monster doesn't really fit there. So I was like, well, if she turned, that could be something if she was a smart one and completely vengeful.
Well, I wonder if it's actually going to transpire that Tardust and Scratch, if they're still alive at this point, I'm sure they are, if they're actually going to somehow work together with our heroes to defeat Ink. Because I feel like the Maulers already knew that these zombies and Ink in particular were much more of a threat than the Tower people even did. I mean, even when they were bombing the arena, the Tower people didn't even figure that out until afterwards, like why they were doing it and what the whole impetus was behind that. So it seems like they got to have some inside information about them that we haven't yet found out about. I wonder how that's going to come into play, if there's going to be any information coming from Scratch as far as like some key piece of information on the weakness of Ink and here's how you take them down. I feel like it's either going to come from Scratch or it's going to come from Skittles, most likely, as far as the key to overthrowing him.
Right, I could totally see that happening.
You know, the further you get away from the epicenter, the calmer it seems to be. So I can't wrap my head around why Scratch would stay. I mean, other than her vendetta.
Right.
And it just seems like anybody following her would just kind of drift away.
Yeah, it's not like she has the most warm and fuzzy personality.
Really, we should
cuddly
use that Scratch around here.
Showing such great leadership skills by slicing dudes up with knives and whatnot. So.
Oh, cutting off their fingers.
Yeah. So.
How about Datu? Is he gonna die? Either by turning.
Yeah. I wanted Datu to die a while ago. I've actually felt better about him lately with this past season. But I think he's going out. Cue the piano music. I think he's a goner.
I gotta hear you. Yeah, bring it. So there's no way he turns and is a good zombie then.
Nah, I'm not convinced there are good zombies. I mean, there's still this debate about Randy.
Yeah, there's no evidence for
their factions fight. I'm not sure even that exists.
I guess I should say no solid evidence of a good zombie. I'm sure a lot of people can extrapolate from certain things that have happened. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's kind of weird. Leads us into Randy. Is he a good guy? Sounds like you already told me no.
Yeah, I kind of doubt that he just dropped those chemicals to like hint to into the soldiers that, oh, like here's a little clue on how you defeat my rival over there, my zombie rival Inc. Remember when he was running away from who was it, Puck and Michael, I think,
Right.
chapters back.
And Jay, the late Jay who got stuck in the flower bed.
Yeah, Jay with the flower bed, right. So, like, why would you try to ambush them if you're actually trying to help them, you know? Just, if he's that smart, just write a message, you know? Send him a telegram or something.
That would certainly be too easy, wouldn't it? Hey, how about Skittles? Is there a chance Skittles is a bad guy?
Now that's really interesting. There's been some talk about that on the forum too, as far as what's his past and did he know Bill Roberts prior to him turning, and does that tie into how he let him into the Dunbar Towers in the first place, and maybe that's what further amplified him kind of going crazy. I'm really interested to see what the connection, if there's a connection there.
Is he Cohen or Scribbles?
Right. Is he this Cohen guy? That would be really interesting to see how that all ties in. I wouldn't disbelieve it at this point. It seems rather likely, and I think that would be really cool if that works out to be the case. But as far as whether or not Skittles will live, yeah, he's like cockroaches, man. He's gonna live forever.
Yeah.
Lives and unsure about his goodness, badness.
Right.
Cool. And how about a good ending where the survivors win, happily ever after-ish? Not happily ever after, maybe, but prospect of defeating the zombies is out there.
As far as I'm concerned, as long as Pegs dies, it'll be a good ending. Because I'm so done with her. I'm so done with Pegs.
Just made my day.
What? They're gonna starve, Liv.
Somebody else can learn how to plant soybeans. So just get rid of this girl.
Oh, no.
Train somebody up on the chopper. Teach somebody else how to
Nobody
plant
else has a
corn.
green thumb. He's the only one.
I guess, but come on. How hard could it be? You put a few seeds in the soil, you water it, it grows.
Next caller. I'm just kidding. If Pegs dies, I say. And you, what do you say? Do you say Pegs dies?
Who, me?
Yes, you think Pegs dies?
I'm hoping, but I don't know. I don't know if Casey's going to go there. It seems like she's been more of in the background lately, but I just don't like that character. I'm hoping she dies. I'm rooting for her to go out.
She gets trampled by one of her cows.
That would be great if she goes out in some just complete asinine way that has no relation to the plot or anything.
Oh, look,
she just trips over a pothole and breaks her neck or something.
Thanks, Deacon. I see you out there in the chat. I appreciate it. Saying don't bad talk Pegs.
Sorry, all you Pegs lovers, but I'm just not having it.
Hey,
she'll be the one person that dies from a splinter.
Right, splinter infection.
Sounds like bad luck Pegs.
So,
do you have any other good questions we need to be asking everybody? I just kind of threw these up the last minute.
I didn't have anything prepared, but yeah, I just wanted to say thanks for letting me come on. It was great talking to you guys. I got to head to bed now.
Yeah, man. Hey, good night. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, sure.
I appreciate it.
All right, that was Lit Master, everyone. All right, let's see. I think he dropped. I can't tell. Okay, let's see who's next. We've got Mr. Eric Williams, that's Funky Dung, isn't it?
Funky Dung.
Let's bring him into the show here, and I'll unmute. Oh, maybe no, I just muted them back. Sorry. Welcome to the show, Funky Dung, right?
Yes, it is. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yes.
It seemed like you chopped for a second there, but I think we're good.
Okay, good, because I didn't even bother to test my system before I got on this.
Oh, well, and I gotta say, your picture is showing up so much better resolution than on better resolution on Twitter. Excuse me. What I'm trying to say is your picture here is so much better than the resolution on Twitter.
Oh,
And
okay.
I couldn't tell if it was a cartoon on Twitter, and right now I can tell it's definitely a real human face. Is that you?
Yes, it is.
Is that your mustache right now?
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh.
That is amazing.
Okay, so if you're listening in podcast form, Funky Dung here has a mustache. I don't know how to describe it. It's got mustache
That hugs his face.
no chin hair, and then it like slides down into a chin strap beard, but it never goes down to the chin.
Look up Alla Suvorov.
Say what?
Suvorov.
Suvorov.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a variant of the friendly mutton chops.
That is classic, man. You're not like a Civil War reenactor or anything, are you?
No.
I know a couple, and they sometimes do some funny facial hair.
No, I just got bored with the same old, same old.
Right. So you got to get a
great.
lot of good reactions like with that.
Oh yeah. Well, most of the weird reactions are from my wife.
She doesn't like it?
Oh my gosh. I mean, this is, I don't know, third or fourth different thing that I've tried, and every time I come out of the bathroom after shaving, she just looks at me, "What did you do to your face?"
Same thing I've been doing for a while, baby.
Oh, that's great.
Well, I guess that's enough of a mustache FanCast. Let's get back to the Weird Life FanCast. Do you have any cool, or not cool? Did you have anything you wanted to share with us tonight? Awesome.
Well, just a couple random things. So, I've never understood the Pegs hate. Not that I love her, but I don't hate her.
Right.
Oh man.
But I had, thinking of hate, I had an epiphany while you guys were talking.
Sorry, I don't know what's happening. There's some problem with the
Good
feed
lord.
here.
But I had an epiphany when you guys were talking. If CJ is supposed to be KC, then that totally makes sense as to why he's bothered by us hating her.
Oh.
That kind of twins in my brain too, just like you said. And I never thought about it till, was it Todd that said it just now? Was that
Yes.
Todd?
Somebody
Okay,
just said it, yeah.
Till either Todd or Lit said it. I'm pretty sure it was Todd. No, now I'm conflicted. I don't know. I hate that. Maybe they'll say it in the. Hang on.
I'm not conflicted. I have unrelenting hate for CJ.
You know, I think what it is with me is she seems like she's manipulating everything. And if it's not on purpose, then it kind of undermines her, title as being this great planner and forward thinker.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm thinking of it more from a storytelling standpoint. And, I'm sure I'll get flack for this because, I'm criticizing the great Casey Wayland. But, as much as I love We're Alive, I sort of feel like CJ is being forced on us. That, here, you're going to like this character. No, really, you're going to like this character. No, really, really, I'm going to put her through this arc, and you're going to like this character. And we're all saying, no, this is Scrappy-Doo.
Right.
Make her go away.
Yeah, I kind of felt, and this isn't, I'm not talking bad about Casey at all here, but when we talked to him and he said that it might have a little bit of gender inequality there, I thought that was somewhat fair, but then I also felt like, hey, that's not fair.
Yeah,
I didn't,
you just played
I
that
didn't like
card.
her. You can't say gender inequality. But I can see what he's saying, though. That might be playing a factor, and hopefully it's not, and I would hate to think that it is, but I thought she was just annoying because I don't like micromanagers in general.
And that's no knock to Constance, because she's
Oh,
pretty
no.
cool.
Oh, no.
Hey, hold
she's
one
good.
second, guys. I'm sorry. I'm getting a message here that says the Hangout will end if I continue broadcasting content I'm not authorized to use. Nobody's playing like music in the background, are they? Anybody who's in the Hangout with us? If you're playing any music or anything like that, I don't know. Maybe that it hears it, but it's telling me that it's gonna end on that it could just end. I don't know. I don't know where it's getting that from. And if you're in the chat stream or anything and it does end, we'll launch another one back up and get it going again. Sorry, not sure what that message is. And sorry to interrupt you there, Funky Dung. But
Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, we were talking about Constance, and she's great. I've got nothing against the actress. It's just the character I despise.
Oh yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. But switching gears, somebody brought up one of my favorite topics, Skittles being evil.
So you've thought about this one then before?
I have been thinking about this since at least when we heard the reminiscence of when Ink gets let into Dunbar. Because it was Dunbar he got let into, right?
Right. He was let in there, then he didn't he let himself into the tower?
Yeah.
Punching the code in.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was led into the other one.
Right. So
chat room, if we're wrong, they'll let us know for sure.
Yeah. But when everything goes down, and then somebody tries to speak to Duncan, he doesn't respond to his name. And I think everybody was assuming that that meant that he had just gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and just couldn't respond. But my instantaneous reaction to that when I listened to the episode the first time was, that's not his real name. That he has, and he is freaking out, but while he's freaking out, he's reverting back to his true identity. And so when somebody calls him by his cover name, he doesn't respond.
Ah. So do you belong to the group that thinks he might be this Cohen guy? Or do you just know you just think he might not be Duncan?
I just think he might not be Duncan. I'm not really ready to step out on the limb to say that he's Cohen.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's a decent hypothesis, but I don't see enough evidence to really hang my hat on.
Yep. Another red shirt says, that makes Skittles Judas. He let them in. And you're getting a lot of, if you don't see the chat window, you're getting a lot of mustache love.
Yes,
no, I wasn't even reading.
Oh, man. It's just one after the other. That mustache requires 38.7% more testosterone to grow than I currently have, Deacon says.
No, I completely missed that.
Awesome. Man, I'm having fun, RedBeard. This is great.
Yeah, this is going a lot smoother than I thought it would.
It really is once we got going. Hopefully they don't just promptly end our stream for some reason.
Yeah, that'd be
I want to
unfortunate.
know why.
I don't know. Hey, if you're in the Hangout and you were playing music, even though you're muted, would you let us know in the chat and see if that affected it? Because we need to know that for any of these future shows.
We're not going to boot you.
Yeah, we're not going to boot you. Sorry about the funky dunk.
No, that's right. So I don't want to monopolize time, but did you guys want to talk about some of those symbols, the things that I dumped links in the forum for?
Yeah, was that Hermeticism? Is that how you say that?
Well, that's what I'm assuming because I've been educated by Google.
Right. Oh,
it's not like I took a course on
the
this stuff.
search engine.
Oh, I'm also a member of that alumni.
Class of 2014.
Well, what did you find? I wasn't able to look it up.
Well, so people have brought up alchemy before. And there are some alchemical symbols on his tattoos. But alchemy is also sometimes part of a larger belief system, and it includes astrology and some elements of worship and what have you. And what really made it stick out for me was, and I don't remember what exactly you guys said, but you were talking about the Eye of Horus or the Eye of Thoth or whichever eye it was, and you had said that you had interpreted it a little bit differently, and your Google search landed you with Golden Dawn.
Right.
And Golden Dawn is a Hermetic group. Like the full title is the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
Okay. I think that was the triangle with the cross.
Yes.
If I'm remembering that correctly.
Okay.
But yeah,
right.
I'm sure it leads us to the same place.
Okay, actually, and that does remind me, because one of your previous call-ins brought up a symbol that was similar to sulfur. So sulfur is the one that's the triangle with the cross underneath, right?
Yeah, yes, it is.
Somebody brought up a cross, a triangle with a double cross underneath.
Okay.
And I was just looking that up. That's phosphorus, if anybody cares.
Well, the cross with the triangle, I think I spotted that on Ink's face. I'd have to go back and look.
Right, but somebody had mentioned a triangle with a double cross. It was somebody who had just been on tonight. So
Okay, yeah, we'll have to.
I think that was Red Shirt.
Somebody bring it up.
okay, so but anyway, so this whole hermetic business, it dates back to the late 19th century. It is sort of the origin of organized science as we see it today, in a way. That they kind of formalized a lot of scientific method and what have you. Yes, it was mixed in with a lot of mumbo jumbo type stuff, but I mean, these kinds of orders or how these kind of things kind of got organized. Or at least that's how I'm understanding what I'm reading. And like I said, Google Class of 2014. So if somebody wants to correct me, go for it. But my point is that this all seems to be a mystery cult kind of deal. And I know somebody said that we're done with the family, but I'm not so sure.
Well, that's what, because I thought the same thing. And Casey, he live tweets when he listens through, and he replied back. He said it would be safe to assume that all family storylines are done. Now, I wouldn't care at all if he was throwing us off. I'm just trying to make us think that.
Oh, well, I guess I could see a way that the family storylines would be completely done, but we would just learn a piece of information that linked things together so that the family was not just this off and left field thing unrelated to Ink and his minions and what have you.
Yeah, it seems so simple. If that's all that happened, it seemed just like a simple mafia type deal, and now that story's over. Whereas it seems like we were kind of expecting there to be more stuff to it, especially somebody said earlier about maybe them being tied to some really ancient orders or religions. I don't really remember what was said, but
yeah, and
really
the other side of that is they could just be one cog in that whole machine. So I'm curious to find out if there's something else that the family was involved in, but it doesn't. We're not necessarily going to learn more about the family itself.
Right. I keep coming back to Angel's ring with the symbol of the 3 interlocking rings. That seems like more than just a representation of maybe 3 families together. That seems like it might link into the whole mystery cult business. Especially with somebody had brought up that Dry knew what was coming.
Oh.
Yeah,
I do remember something about that. I think I read it on the forums forever ago.
Actually, I think I saw somebody bringing it back up very recently and saying that Dry had told Scratch that he knew what was coming next, and that's why he ordered the attack on the arena with the tankers and what have you. And it kind of let me scratch my head, how did he know? Why did he know? So
Dude, you got me. That is the word provocative? I don't know. I'm not good at my words. Where's Google?
What do you mean? You guys don't have your thesaurus out this time?
I mean, to.
I was loving that episode where you guys were looking for every possible synonym for awesome.
Yeah. I'm having a pretty icy time right now myself. Oh, yeah. I didn't see how that was going to be one of those kind of words. Hey, Funky, let's run through these predictions real quick.
Mm-hmm.
We have Who Lives or Dies, Michael.
I think he's going to live. He's going to be alone and miserable, probably.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Saul?
I'm inclined to say no, he doesn't survive.
Oh, wow. Let's see.
I think he might go out in some heroic way to save the life of his wife and child.
That would be sweet. Let's see. What about Bert?
No, I don't think Bert's going to survive. And actually, I predicted earlier that what was going to end up happening was that Riley is going to do something bold and rash and stupid to try to kill Scratch. She's going to get killed in the process, and Bert is going to sacrifice himself to to get revenge, basically, to finally finish off Scratch. That it's going to be the kind of deal where he'll pull the pin out of a grenade and blow them both up.
I could see that happening.
Yes.
Yeah, and then he would have one of his epic movie lines.
Oh yeah.
Hasta la vista, baby. Something dumb.
Sitting on the sidelines eating a tuna fish sandwich as the bomb goes off.
So you're calling Scratch dies then, along with that same theory? So
yeah,
that one.
I guess I really don't see any storytelling use in keeping Scratch alive. That arc has to finish, and yeah, she has to die. I mean, and maybe it won't be Bert. Maybe she will join up with the quote good guys, and die in a big final battle with Ink and his minions. But I just don't see a storytelling purpose to keeping Scratch alive.
Right. Yeah, I thought more of it would be more bold to say she lives, because I think she's got to die. I mean, this makes the most sense.
Yeah.
No matter what way she goes out, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
How about Datu? Is he gonna make it out of this somehow, some way?
Boy, I really wish he would. I think he's probably going to have to go out in some self-sacrificial manner.
Okay.
That I don't know if he's going to sort of half-turn and take out a behemoth or something. I don't know. I just
with his strong arm.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. As much as I really want the guy to live, I think Casey's going to torture us to death with stringing us along and then make sure that he dies. And yeah, I don't know. I just have this sneaking suspicion that he's going to go out in some very appropriately noble way.
Right.
I think the arc between him and Hope hasn't been fully explored, and that's kind of just dangling on the vine. And so perhaps he needs to sacrifice himself to save her.
I can see that. And before we move on real quick, hey guys, if you're in the chat and you want to join the call, we're going a little bit long here, but I think we're both having a good time. I've got time, RedBeard. Do you want to keep going?
I'm in.
Okay, so if anybody else wants to join the call, join the show, down on the bottom in the About section, there's the link to the show. You can just click that. It's going to install whatever the Hangout business is it needs to do, and it'll throw you in here. And when you get in here, you start out muted, and then we'll kind of bring you in the order that you joined. And sorry about that, Funky Dung. I've interrupted you so many times.
That's all right.
How about Pegs?
I'm used to being interrupted.
And you're very gracious about it, too.
And that's what the duct tape is for.
That's how you know it's working.
Oh, hey, duct tape is important. It's like the Force. It has a light side and a dark side, and it holds the universe together.
I dare you to take off your mustache with some duct tape.
Oh, man.
Why would I just randomly say that? I don't... It's like I thought it, for some reason, and then I just said it. I don't...
It's called an internal editor.
Right.
What's that?
It went off. How about Pegs? Lives, dies.
I don't see any use in killing her. She's gonna live. And I don't even say that because I'm not in the hate Pegs crowd. I don't see a purpose in killing her off.
Only way she dies is if Scratch kills her, is what I think. But I'll think she'll live.
Yeah, but if she does die, I think it would be funny to have her squashed under a cow.
Should be the one person alive still in the colony with a cat.
After all, it sounds like she helps out Casey so much with this show and getting a lot of things done with it. For her to go out like that would just be terrible. Okay, let's see. Is Randy? Is he a good guy? Any chance of that?
I think he's a disinterested third party. Well, maybe not disinterested, but he's not on Randy et al.'s side, or he's not on Michael et al.'s side, nor is he on Ink et al.'s side. I think he is his own entity unto himself and is sort of, in a Shakespearean way, saying a pox on both your houses. He's pissed off that he's still quasi alive.
Right.
But he's got no love for Ink. So I think he's kind of out for himself and would be happy if both groups would croak.
And see, that seems to fit with that show of dominance that the numbered one put on to the regular zombie at the Ground Zero. Which was awesome. I want to know more about why that happened.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. Refresh me.
At Inglewood, when the skinny, the number ones, the little ones, it jumped on top of a regular zombie and pinned it down. When it was Victor and Tanya were out there gathering the air samples.
Oh, yeah, that one. I don't know. I guess I sort of saw that as a food chain kind of thing.
Yeah, well, and after that last episode at the jail, that seems to play out too.
Hey, I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick, RedBeard. If you can keep this going. 1 minute. Sorry, there's no like side channel here I can use that I know of yet.
Let's see, I wanted to unmute other people as we do this too, because I'm curious what their take is on some of the subjects. Let's see. So I think Todd, you can unmute if you want, and Adam.
Done.
So, am I reading too much into the play of dominance, or is that a food chain thing? Are they fighting for sustenance, or?
It's hard to say. I mean, really. I like the idea of, it's a food chain idea of if you can't find regular people to bite, then the Inklings are going to go after the regulars, I guess. I could also see the dominance angle as well. It's kind of hard to say without knowing a little, he gives us just enough to basically make it really difficult to say one way or the other.
And I'm hoping we find out more details about how the little ones were created, because it always seemed like they were created in the basement of the hospital, and I just want to see that play out a little bit more.
Yeah, it seems that way. We could go into crackpot territory, and
It's my favorite place to be.
what I've always been the random.
Somebody say crackpot?
Yes. The random out of the back of my head idea is the Inklings actually came from the haze at Inglewood. So they're not actually human at all. They're what came from the holes in the ground. And as they've grown in our atmosphere, they just keep getting bigger. But that's why, number 7 was able to survive there. That's where he came from. Of course he's going to.
But they're able to turn others into number ones like them, right?
Yep. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's just a slightly disconnected version of ourselves, really. So, I know it gets into real way out there territory when you start talking that way.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense than what we currently know about Ground Zero, which is hardly anything, except there's some haze there.
Right.
Die or turn.
Yeah, which a fun thing you can actually, just by the good old Googler, you can find information on times where things like that have just happened throughout history, where it's just like the Earth exploded, and it wasn't necessarily a volcano, but a specific one I'm thinking of is Lakai, which is in Iceland, and just a dormant volcano opened and just started spewing phosphoric acid into the air, basically killing 25% of the life around there.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. It's fun what you can find on Google.
I'm going to look that one up. That sounds cool.
Yeah, I didn't take that Google class.
And that
do we just want to open it up and see what happens, RedBeard?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
We've got Red Shirt still muted. Did he request to be muted?
I think he's muted himself.
Oh, there we go.
No, I'm here.
I'm here. So everybody in the Hangout, we've got Mick here, RedBeard.
Yep.
And Todd.
And Funky Dung and
Adam. I don't know if he's on the call talking. I'll turn it back up here.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, you said Funky Dung and Richard.
Yeah, Todd, back to that one volcano you were talking about, the Icelandic one. That's actually a news thing. I posted about it in the one of the many zombie origin theories I've posted on the forum. Learned about it on the Skeptic's Guide to the Universe. They in their science news they mentioned the the anniversary of that Icelandic volcano. It actually the fallout from that reached as far as France, if I'm not mistaken. It was late 1800s, I think it was. Killed,
exactly
I think, 25% of the Icelandic population, partly due to fluorine poisoning, but also due to starvation because it killed off something like half of the livestock on the island.
Yep.
Which actually makes the Inglewood crack haze look small in comparison, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure it was one of those osmosis things where I had that in the back of my head. Yeah, no, I'm fellow skeptic, Guide to the Universe guy, so.
Cool.
Hey, and real quick, a little, just, I guess, guided discussion, whatever. If you're not talking, just mute on the side there if you can, or wherever you mute. I'm not sure where you can mute, but just mute if you're not talking, and then once you have something to say, just unmute. That way, since we have everybody unlocked here, it'll help not have that just complete noise overload should it happen. Sorry about that.
Good.
Let's see.
Buzzkill McGinger over here.
Yeah, I'm trying to kill the vibe.
Makes absolute sense, though.
Todd, we created a few more questions since we talked to you earlier on. Datu, you say he lives or dies?
I want to say he dies just because it needs to happen. It really needs to happen at this point in the story.
Right.
But hey, the way Casey's handling it right now, I don't know that he will, in truth. I think the entire rest, he kind of hinted at it. I think the rest of the podcast is going to take up this 2-week period that is Datu's turning period. My personal opinion is the end of the show will be the birth of Saul and Lizzie's kid and Datu's death. All within the same episode.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an action-packed 2 weeks here.
Well,
sounds like that could be how it goes, too.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I love the, just way the hell out there theories, you got to be reasonable at some point, and that's the logical way to handle the story, the way it goes right now. So.
Very good. And I had a couple more. You think any chance Randy's a good guy? Or I guess would you predict
we went over that
Randy's a good guy? Oh, we did?
Yeah, that one we went over with. The Skittles thing we didn't talk about.
Okay, yeah.
We were talking with Funky Dung a while ago. I think you're getting the two of them confused.
Right.
Well, my spreadsheet has Todd missing the Randy good guy. I must have not captured it.
Oh, that's because we skipped my answer because I wouldn't say yes or no.
Okay.
I still won't say yes or no.
Oh, almost got him. RedBeard.
My bad.
Back on the Skittles here. Face the rainbow.
I think too many people try to make too much into that character because the main reason I say that is the actor who portrays Skittles is not always available, but I mean he's the voice of Porky Pig. He's not going to be able to just pop in whenever Casey needs him. For that reason alone, I can't see Skittles playing a more important role than he does. That's pretty much my overall feeling on Skittles.
Cool.
Unless he's a linchpin and it's already recorded.
You had to go there.
I was wondering the same thing about Michael, since Jim Gleason's off in New Orleans. Is he being written less into the show than what he would have been this season?
Yeah, but you could make the. That makes me want to go into territory we probably should avoid, which was the Angel territory. Is how much of Angel's storyline revolved around Shane Salk's involvement, you know.
Right. I'm completely
Yeah.
ignorant to that, except for I saw a post recently on the forums about why did Shane leave.
Yeah, I mean that's all details none of us really need to know at all, you
Yeah,
know. But it's like that I mean it's the same situation with Jim Gleason is. I think you're completely right. Would he be more involved if he was still local?
Yeah, see, one thing, I guess the thing that made me think of that was this last part. It worked so well with Puck doing it, and I'm so glad that they were able to just continue to grow the legend of Puck and, make us love him so much more. But I also thought, I wonder if Michael would have led that, and if the story would have went a little differently, if Datu wouldn't have forced his hand to stay with him if he'd been available. Just something interesting to think about.
That's true. The thing I go back to with that whole situation is we're in season 4. We have these characters that came in season 3. We knew good and well that they're all going to die because they're not the main characters of the story. I can't see bringing someone in, this late in the game and having them survive to the end. So, I mean, it sucks to say, but, Robbins, Carl, and Muldoon all had to die. We needed someone to be able to tell the story. That someone was Puck, who was in charge. So, in that situation, Casey pretty much took all 4 of them out of the scenario just within that, chapter part.
Yeah, and another aside about that little piece with all of them dying. Of course, RedBeard and I, being the big-hearted people we are, I guess, I don't know what it is, are hoping one of them are alive. We've kind of tossed around the idea maybe somehow, some way Robbins would die. Now, what you just said about them coming in late and we know they're going to die, it totally makes sense, but I don't want to believe that. I'm saying all this to say, there's a guy I work with he's not real big in the real life. He loves it, listens to it when it comes out every week. We talk about it for a minute, and that's about it. And he said, I think that guy, the big guy in there, you think he lived? I just thought that was kind of odd that he asked that because he didn't get into any of the crazy theories or anything like that.
Right. Right. That's what a show like this is good for. That's what really drew me in. Was it just makes you think so much about just the little details like that, and once something like that sucks you in, you're there and you become one of us basically. So, yeah.
Caw.
Yes! Somebody
Exactly.
did it.
Join the hive.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love the crow thing, but can I throw something out that I really don't like in tinfoil land?
Please do.
Formic acid.
Yes.
I think Wikipedia.
I am so glad that whole ant thing died.
Yeah, I think Wikipedia calls that a stub.
A stub. That's CJ.
Whoa!
Oh man!
Too soon.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, I have no filter.
Oh God.
CJ.
Oh, that theory didn't have a leg to stand on.
Identify yourself.
It was kind of limp.
That's great. No, did somebody just say going out on a limb?
I said it's kind of limp.
Oh, okay.
Oh man.
That's good. Hey, you guys got any more crazy theories before we wrap this show up?
Well, I had one I thought of while Todd was talking about Datu. I was wondering if maybe it comes to something you guys mentioned on the podcast a while back was about going back to the well to drink from it again in reference to going back to previous plot points that they've covered before. Datu surviving because he's immune. I mean, we already have 2 suspected immune people in the party already with Tanya and Saul. It's a stretch to think that Datu could be immune. So what if they do have to come to the mercy syringe and they do and eventually actually give it to him? But what if, for some strange reason, whatever the science behind that might be, it doesn't work when they inject him, and he turns anyway?
Oof. That we've had so many uncomfortable moments lately that would be really bad.
Well, it'll be the action everybody's crying for.
Mm-hmm.
Because Datu's already pretty strong. I don't know what he would turn into.
Well, it stands to reason he'd probably be a smart one, which, given the whole good guy, bad guy idea behind Randy, it stands to reason that Datu would become a smart one and retain some level of his intelligence that he has.
He could also be our first whiny zombie. I love Datu, but good lord.
I just realized, Red Shirt, we didn't get your take on some of these predictions.
All right, go ahead.
Michael.
Whether he lives or dies to see it through till the end?
Yes. Oh, to live past through the end, yes.
Well, I mean, I don't, honestly, I mean, going through this entire series with the plot and the themes and the theories and who lives, who dies, I mean, I'm just kind of gumping it. I just take it as it comes and listen to it and enjoy it. In the forums, I kind of do go off on a tangent, to put it mildly. But with Michael, considering he seems to be the primary narrator, I suspect, just based on that, I think he might live through till the end. One of the theories somebody else posted, I'm sorry, I don't know what your forum name is, suggested, several people may have suggested it, that the narration we're hearing in the story is actually Michael telling Saul's son about the stories about his parents and all of his parents' friends, which, is a very small, simple theory, but carries so much weight, and I kind of like it. It sounds pretty good. So I think Michael might live to the end and beyond.
Well, that's a nice theory.
Wow.
How about
what we need is more man tears.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, but yeah, I mean, I kind of like it. It's pretty good.
How about Saul and Bert?
Saul. What kind of ending are we going for? Happy ending? Sad ending?
This is your time to guess all that.
You know what? I'm thinking Saul might live through till the end, because one of the things I'm worried about is the colony, the group, the Tower of Rights, or whatever you want to call them. They're for the most part kind of degraded to Bronze Age level, sort of. I mean, they have electricity, kinda, but childbirth under those circumstances, dicey at best, honestly. And I have a bad feeling that it might be, shoot, her name escapes me now for the moment.
Lizzie.
Thanks, sorry. Man, and I call myself a fan. Gee whiz.
If you heard the stuff we don't air, oh my goodness.
You've already got your
you already hear the stuff we say that's ignorant. Wait till you hear the stuff we don't.
Yeah. So I have a bad feeling that it might be Lizzie that doesn't make it, and it's childbirth, actually, that does her in. So that leaves Saul to be the one to kind of carry the torch and live on. So I kind of think Saul might make it. Bert, I don't know. I kind of have a feeling he might go out in a marine blaze of glory. No particular specifics on that. I just kind of have a feeling it might be the one that and it's probably ends up being a confrontation with Scratch.
Oh, and that's our first awkward silence.
Whoops.
No, I like that.
That's because I'm talking to the mute button, apparently.
How about this for another prediction question? What do you guys think is going to happen with Victor?
Oh. What do you mean?
Survival, non-survival?
Oh, okay.
Bad?
Living or dying. I gotcha.
Man, with all the other soldiers gone, I mean, he's probably going to have to fulfill one of those roles.
For a little while, for sure. Well, let's see. So he's got a romantic interest in Kelly. What else is in his character that?
He's fiercely devoted to Saul.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
His best man.
Yeah,
I think he'll
Victor's
survive.
probably gonna make it. I think he'll make it. Now, the one that's kind of is probably scratch out of everyone. Probably might be the one that everybody's theorized the most about. The feeling that I've got, I don't know, mysterious storytelling and whatnot. Something I've mentioned before in the forums before is I wonder if we're ever going to hear from Scratch again, or if she's just going to end up being some kind of faceless, ghostly specter that the crew is afraid of, and we might never hear from her again, and it's one more unsolved mystery of L.A.
Oh, that would drive me crazy.
I don't know. I'm just going to say that we'll hear from her at least one more time, just based on the way she talked in the interview.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I guess that's cheating, but yeah.
Yeah, it kind of is. We have,
Insider trading.
Yeah.
You're going to jail for that one. How about Datu? Is Datu, any chance he lives? I shouldn't say any chance. Is he going to die or is he going to live?
Well, I mean, I mentioned it before. The whole drinking from the well again thing. I strongly suspect that he might end up, having to get the mercy shot, the mercy injection. I don't want him to go, but looking the way the story's going, I think he's a goner.
Thank you.
I think if any character's lined up for self-sacrifice, it's Datu.
Mm-hmm.
So one way or another, I think that's probably going to play a hand.
Let's see. How about Pegs? She was brought up. I didn't bring her up this time.
Huh. I don't know. She's, you know what? Despite the character's hiatus for a large portion of the third season, she's been a fairly prominent main character throughout most of the story, but now with most of what we've heard in season 4 so far, she's kind of a background character, and we don't get to hear from her much anymore. I think she's going to make it. She's just going to be in the background, Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
All right.
But if you need some .nets.
What? I was trying to think of the rest of it. A fatty? Wasn't like a website being a fatty a part of it?
I don't know.
Let's see. Do you think Randy's could be a good guy?
Well, I posted in the chat earlier. I think it was either Lit or Todd while they were giving that answer. Good, bad, good, and evil. It really depends on your point of view. To go back to a Star Wars quote.
Yeah.
He's different than the regulars or the specials, that's for sure. He certainly seems to be a smart one. The original, the character as shown with Michael's flashback, definitely seems to be a pretty sharp guy. But as to whether he's good or evil or what his role is in this, I don't really know, and it's hard to say because again, the whole good and evil, it's perspective. Does he have his own agenda? Probably. I'll definitely say that. As far as whether he's good or evil, I can't really even comment because I don't really know what his perspective is.
Okay, let me define it better then, as far as what I'm looking for in this question. Is Randy going to help the survivors, or would he help Inc. or the zombies?
I think with that clarification, I think he is trying to, in some crazy zombie way, smart zombie way, try to help.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one of our last questions is: Skittles a bad guy? And
I don't
it's kind of
know.
along the same lines. Is he gonna be a detriment to the survivors on purpose?
Yeah, not intentionally. No, I mean if he pops back up again, he may cause problems for the group. But as we saw with his original introduction, I believe it was back chapter 10 or 11, when they were heading to was it the hospital? I think it was. No, to the arena rather. When they first ran into him heading to the arena, he was off in a bad way, as mentally state-wise. But then when Kalani and Angel ran into him again, he was better. Still not all there, but he was better. So if we see him again, I'm going to say he's probably still a little not quite right in the head, but he'll probably be a little bit better, maybe a little bit more cognizant of what he's doing, what he's saying. So I don't think he would either intentionally or unintentionally do something if he's a good guy. Now, if he's not, I mean, there's no way of knowing.
Okay, so last one, I have good ending, question mark, and it's defined by the survivors beating the zombies, I guess I could say.
They're going to get some level of closure. I think they will, at least one person, because we have at least one person narrating the story, probably Michael. There's going to be a handful of people that are going to make it through till the end. They're going to probably defeat Inc. in some glorious fashion, but there's still going to be a lot of fallout left over. There's still going to be zombies roaming about the city, probably a few special infected, maybe even one or two. I think actually that's all that's left is 2 of the numbered Inklings. They're going to have some level of victory, but nothing that, I mean, were I a survivor in that position, not the level of victory that I would have hoped for.
Huh. All right, we've got a question from the chat I was going to post to you guys, and it's another kind of tinfoil hat thing, I think, and it's Deacon, and he says he wants to know about some Mr. Whiskers theories. Do you guys have any of those?
I just want Mr. Whiskers back. I want him back so bad.
Oh, Edward Scissor Kitty?
I'm way into cats, so.
Yeah. Oh, I love cats too. That cat is hanging around the crater of what used to be the tower and is getting fatter and fatter as every day goes by.
Please don't tell me he's eating corpses.
Well, every cat is just waiting for you to die.
Mm-hmm.
There's a book about that.
Yes, there is. Barnes & Noble.
Yep.
Maybe Mr. Whiskers will claw out Ink's eyes.
Yeah. He's what takes down the zombies in the end.
Or maybe all the zombies will be knocked out by toxoplasmosis.
Oh, God.
Is that feline AIDS?
No, it's a disease. It's a disease you pick up from cat litter.
Yeah, that's the one that they've investigated and discovered that mice that are infected with toxoplasmosis are actually less afraid of cats, making them easier prey and food for cats. And they've discovered, they've discovered a similar effect in humans that are have tested positive for toxo, have been known to be more appreciative of cats.
Yeah, it induces complacency and takes away the element of fear.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow, I think everybody learned something tonight.
Actually, let me do some digging real quick. Grognard posted a thing on that a long while back. I could probably pull you up exact information.
Okay,
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was really hoping he was going to be on the chat tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We've been trying to nail down a time for him to just come on and do a quick 15 to 30-minute show about the crows because it's such a fun theory, I guess you could say. Maybe it sounded like you guys didn't like it so much, but
I love the crow thing.
Yeah.
Now, that's fun. On the other hand, I would love it if Casey is just trolling us.
I think he is here lately. I've heard all sorts of bird noises.
yeah, I think he said, or maybe it's just a crow, or
Or a
You see, the funny thing is that some of the, okay, not a lot, but there's a couple of items here and there that I've heard people talk about and post on the forums that I don't remember hearing in the original broadcast of the podcast. Now, there's something I posted in the Hive, one of the pictures. It's a screen capture of what I think is a Tumblr post. And this guy suggested if I were an author, what I would do is release a book with 10 different endings, each with a varying degree of rarity, and then sit back and watch the fans argue about how the story ended. And then come out publicly and say that I had done this, and then say that there was an 11th ending that actually hadn't been released, and then watch the fans scramble as they try to find it.
Oh, talk about a troll.
Yes, indeed. Now, keeping that in mind with, not remembering having heard some of these things that others are talking about, I really wonder if there are differing versions or varying versions of the podcast that have been released. I mean, this is really tinfoil hatty, but Casey is really sneaky with his storytelling sometimes, and I kind of wonder maybe if there might be something to that.
What the heck, man?
That's the first I've heard of that one. That sounds really cool.
Yeah. Well, that even goes into our whole spectrum analyzer theories about looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay, what?
Go ahead, Red.
Okay.
Got it.
So there's a song by, I think, Apex Twin called Equation.
Yep.
And what the artist did is he had a picture of his face injected into the music that can only be seen if you listen to the song while running it through a spectrum analyzer, an audio spectrum analyzer. So that's another one of the little tinfoil hatty things that I did. I actually got a spectrum analyzer program to work on my laptop, and I've been listening and watching a couple of the episodes in the spectrum analyzer. And I posted screen captures of some of my results, and somebody pointed out, I might have even been Casey, that they saw a face in the spectrum soundwave graphic representation.
That is awesome.
After he hit the Fibonacci sequence in one of the recent shows, I wouldn't put it past him at this point.
Yep.
True.
That's so much fun. Hey guys,
now it makes me wonder if there are any hidden messages in the cover art.
There's gotta be.
Yeah, that's also something I've been wondering about. That's a field called steganography.
Yes.
And it's used in encryption and secret messages. It's posted somewhere in the forum. I mentioned it somewhere. I'll have to dig it back out again.
Is that not the one where you hide puzzles, not even expecting them to be found? Or is that something
sort
else?
of. Steganography, what it allows you to do, it allows you to embed a secret message inside, usually, most popularly, inside a, like say, a JPEG, inside a picture. And it's not like, say, the metadata or the, right-click properties, detailed information stuff. It's actually encrypted into the picture itself. Using various methods like subchannels and dropped pixels, and sometimes it could very well be in Morse code and varying, varying spectra, different colors, that kind of a thing. Something else I've also tried my hand at to see if there might just happen to be something in there. They usually require passwords. There's a free one online. I've ran the the bust picture of ink through it. Unfortunately, I didn't get anything out of it, but I don't know.
I would just want to know what kind of hidden message we would get out of the MS Paint covers from the first few episodes.
Yeah.
Is he going to go back and fix those?
I thought he mentioned something about that for the paid release versions.
Mm-hmm. I think user on the forum, Abe Arts, I think I might be pronouncing that right. I think there might have been discussion with Casey and Abe Arts to use some of his artwork for his minimalist We're Alive posters. I could be wrong, but it would be very, very cool if he did.
Yeah, that would be. That really would be. Anybody else have any closing thoughts before we close this up? Jeremy? You got
No, drawing a blank, really.
Hey, Todd?
Yeah, this was very cool, for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Man. Very, very cool.
I mean, that's just something we need to say, is this needs to happen more often, for sure, when time allows, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool, and yeah, Redbeard and I were talking about that earlier today, is we don't want this to be the only time we do this, and try to figure out some kind of schedule, whether it be once a month or chapter ending. We don't really know yet.
That's probably what I would lean toward is, why couldn't you do it on the off weeks?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Only reason I can think of is sometimes we get a little burned out editing, and it's nice to have that week off, but other than that...
Yeah, speaking of editing,
true.
just out of curiosity, so how many FanCast episodes is this livecast going to end up being?
Oh my goodness. Oh, we're going to have to cut it up and find the cliffhangers and figure out how to, end them on those, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding, I don't know, we're over 2 hours now.
Wow.
It could be, see, I don't know. Hey, Redbeard,
Yeah.
this has gone pretty well, and we didn't have a lot of junk that we'd have to cut out. I might just cut out a lot of the silence, automatically, and just release it as it is. And
I
if
think
people
it's
don't like
gonna hate
it,
us.
invite feedback and see if people don't like it, and then we can edit it after that.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
What is somebody said something that was talked over?
I just said the fans are going to hate us.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. To go back to something Nick Voodoo said once in reference to another, I think one of his podcasts, Meat and Girth.
That is awesome.
I think it's gonna work out well. I mean, I think it's fine.
Hey, Eric, you have any parting thoughts for us?
Well, I can't wait to get all the corrections.
Oh my goodness, he's gonna. I think his little. I shouldn't say little, but his thumbs are gonna be hurting trying to tweet us all the corrections there.
Oh yeah.
That we made. I'm sure y'all are spot on.
Oh, I doubt it.
Except I couldn't remember Lizzie for some unknown reason.
You should have said Blair.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a moleskin notebook like right here in front of me, and I'm like taking notes, and I can't remember a character name. Come on.
Don't feel bad about it. And I didn't even think about this, but somebody just said Nick. So, and I know you guys are big W&D fans. Go back further than we do with them for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Todd just dropped. Hey Todd, join back up real quick if you want to say something. But I see that they said they were going to close up their podcast, maybe do one more for the contest. But I just wanted to say thanks to those guys and girls, of course, for the work they did for the years when we're live and enhancing the experience for everybody that wanted to listen. And I'm sure that y'all might have something you want to say.
Indeed. Miss you guys, Nick, Britt. Hope you get a chance to listen to this one. Miss you guys. I understand that life happens in spades sometimes, for better or for worse. But I understand you got to get that taken care of. But miss you guys.
I'll second that.
And Todd dropped and he's back in here now. Todd, you still in? Can we hear you?
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
I'm back.
We were just throwing some love to We're Not Dead before we closed out and thanking them for what they did. Anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, actually, perfect timing. Yeah, for sure. It's good. It's good that they finally came forward and said that they can't do it anymore, which is completely understandable. You know, you only have so much time in the day. But definitely, we need a way to unite all the fans as a group, you know, and someplace they can turn to. So it's good that you guys are doing what you're doing, and definitely keep doing what you're doing. And we're all, as a whole, the forum is completely behind you. You know, obviously based on, you know, you managed to pull Red Shirt from the forums tonight, which, yeah, no, exactly. Which that's saying something, because he's really not, that I'm aware of, not present on, you know, Twitter or Facebook or anything like that. So we all have your back, and keep doing what you're doing.
Agreed.
And
Definitely.
Yeah. And like I said, it sucks that We're Not Dead is, you know, on semi-permanent hiatus. I'm doing air quotations. But the show must go on, and people want content, you know. So
Yeah.
that's about all I can say for them.
I could see what you're saying and appreciate your kind words.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Definitely. And
you guys, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say you guys are sort of the voices of the fans now, and you know, now that WND is gone, we have to rely on you. But there's one other thing we have to rely on you guys for. You guys are crucial in the fight for a musical episode.
Oh God, no.
Yes.
Flips table.
Not so fast, my friend.
I posted a comment to that at some point recently in the past couple of days. I originally, you know, Buffy, Once More with Feeling, yeah, that's great, and I was kind of on board with the idea, but I don't know, I'm getting a little table flippy myself.
Right now, I'm just on board for the trolling aspect of it.
Absolutely.
That's got a lot of value to it. But I mean, RedBeard and I have talked about this, and you've heard us, I'm sure. What if, even after it's all said and done, if they come back and do just a Burt Fever Dream standalone musical, and he sells it for $1 and makes whatever to help fund his next project? I mean, come on.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, Casey pointed, or he posted on the forums, I guess probably to gauge our feelings and reactions to the idea. Single, self-contained mini-sodes, no narration, stories, I think, that were meant to be put in the We're Alive universe. And yeah, it sounds like a pretty good idea. I'm on board with that. So something to that effect may, to a degree, already be in the works.
I think I'd pay $1 to get that to get a 3-part chapter outside of the storyline. I didn't clarify this last week, but like outside of the next 6 chapters, there being a side chapter created about the prison, or not the prison, but inside the jail at Twin Towers, and hearing about their last stand and probably building up characters in that could be really cool, as well as a lot of other things that have happened.
Yeah. And you guys know the beauty of, after this whole project ends, is so long as we just keep it as it's a fan fiction, you know, basically something inspired by We're Alive, anybody could do what they want to and post it to the forum as a fan fiction. You know, be that just a written journal entry, or be that a YouTube clip, or be that their own produced version of, okay, this is how the outbreak started it back in 2009. You know, the possibilities are endless as far as actual fan fictions of how you would tell the story in your area. So, I mean, that's fully possible. I mean, the skies are endless as far as, you know, content.
Yeah, I kind of started to go down that path, thinking up fan fiction as to what my reaction and what would happen in my area. At the time, I was living in Atlanta. First got introduced to the series, listened to at that point, the entire thing within a couple of days, got really super excited about it, started thinking up plot lines and characters and so on, looking up stuff online, figuring out how it would happen in this area. And then all of a sudden, I stopped myself and said, oh, wait. There's already a zombie story happening in Atlanta. This would not. I don't know. And I had some pretty good ideas, but zombie story in Atlanta. Oh, what? Another one?
Yeah.
That's good.
That is excellent. All right, guys. I guess we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up then. I want to say thank you again to all the fans of We're Live that joined us tonight, and we had a nice active chat room and a very active YouTube live stream as well. And so thanks again, guys.
Oh, hey, no problem. I've heard call-outs before to have fans come on for the shows, but I was a bit hesitant to put my name forward because I didn't really want to come off as, hey, look at me, but when I got the invite in my inbox tonight, I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm there. I'm so there.
And yeah, that's cool, and you've definitely added a lot to it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, this has been a
Absolutely.
blast.
It has. And so hopefully we can look forward to doing this again. I'm just going to guess if we do it, it'd be once a month. If not, we'll do it a couple more times before we wrap it up. Do you have anything else, RedBeard?
No, that's it.
All right, let's see. Uncomfortable silence as I check my notes for any closing notes. I hid my notes from myself somewhere. Oh no, I'm looking at last week's notes. That's why.
Oh.
I do that constantly.
Nope. That is it. So that was episode 28 of the We're Live FanCast. All right, I guess
Great.
we'll probably end it there. So thanks again, guys.
Awesome. Thanks for inviting me. It's been real fun.
Oh yeah,
No
anything.
problem, man.
For sure.
The worst part's going to be when I listen back to this and hear my own voice.
That's taken a lot of getting used to on my part, at least.
Oh, something I forgot to bring up was
I
somebody
haven't
brought
hit
up
the broadcast button yet. We can still do it.
somebody suggested that we auto-tune one of the episodes.
Oh, God.
Wait a minute, that's the
That would
perfect
be
solution.
classic.
There's your musical right there.
Done.
Oh my goodness.
No, have you stopped the recording?
Not yet. Do you want me to?
For what I'm about to say, yeah, probably so.
All right. That's it, guys. There's your cliffhanger.